And we're underway, and the kick by Edinboro right to left is good to take a bounce out of bounds. And it goes out of bounds, the flag, and IUP can take it at the 35. All right, there you go. The IUP cheerleaders with their...
I am Aptiva from IBM. See and hear me at Radio Shack.
Right in front of the IUP bench over there. And we're underway, and the kick by Edinboro right to left is good to take. And it goes out of bounds, the flag, and IUP can take it at the 35. All right, there you go. The IUP cheerleaders, and we're about ready to go with IUP's first series, but we had maybe an injury on the opening kickoff. We did, and we in front of the IUP bench over there. Not sure exactly what happened. The ball went out of bounds, and they're caring for the IUP player.
Williams, the injured fighting Scott.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Now, they made an announcement that it's an Edinboro player hurt. No, it's the IUP player. It's Maxwell.
But there's an Edinboro player down here, Jack.
Oh, here he is, yeah.
Coming up the field, that's Carlos Williams, number 46. It looked to me like they both are a little stunned. Maybe they had one of those head-to... We didn't see it. Neither one of us saw it, but it looks like they might have had one of those head-to-head, shoulder-pad-to-shoulder pad collisions that happen so often on special teams.
Well, we've got a great matchup here. Edinboro is second in overall defense in the Pennsylvania Conference. Their key man, Pat Schuster, the defensive end All-American, leads the team in sacks. Lambert, a great defensive lineman. Traversy from Canada, about 6'6", the man in the middle there. Ken Ferguson at quarterback. Campoto, the fullback. Robinson starts at tailback. Basics, it goes to Robinson. He is stacked up at the 35-yard line, right at the line of scrimmage, by Michael Sims, one of the fine linebackers for Edinboro, who is in with 60 tackles on the year. That's second on the team. Sims, a great linebacker. In the secondary, Ron Allen, their safety man, had 4 INTs against Portland State alone. So they've got some people that can really play defense.
Sims had a big game against IUP last year, Jack. You'll remember, of course, 16 tackles, although IUP won the ball game 21-7.
Chuck Hendrick is Hendrick out over the football, the center. Valario, the All-American in Gravine. Walton and Shimko are the tackles. Robinson tries to go left side. Robinson leans to about the 40-yard line for 5 yards. Heavy traffic over there, and Edinboro coming over quickly. And Schuster, we told you about Pat Schuster, leads the team in tackles with 63 and in sacks. He's the all-time sack leader. He has 10 this year. He's out of Bradford and a senior, just shy of the 40-yard line. And so it'll be third down, about 5.5 to go for the first down.
Brian Lambert is the other defensive end, Jack. He was a force last week. He was the Pennsylvania Conference Wentz Defensive Player of the Week. 8 tackles, 4 sacks against the Rock.
IUP has his wideouts to the right side. Tony Hardy in the slot. Smith to the right. Hardison, who's back in action after a week off, is to the left. Split backs for IUP. Ferguson goes to the air for the first time over the middle. In and out of the hands of Smith at the 45-yard line. Incomplete. Coming over, Ron Allen, the safety man, to make the play on him. But Smith had a shot at it. Couldn't hold it.
Should have caught the football. Ferguson with a nice play, just about to be hit. Kind of got up on his tippy toes and just rifled the ball right over the middle. Put it in Smith's hands, but he just couldn't hold the ball.
And the man who leads the PSAC in kicking, a 43.2, is John McGee, and Gilbert Grantlin is back there. He's that great receiver. He runs the 100 in 10-2. McGee is kicking and kicks it out. Grantlin's going to let it go. It will roll. It'll go laterally. It'll go out of bounds in the vicinity of the Edinboro 33. So Edinboro has its first report here from the line of scrimmage at the 33-yard line. Let's go to Doug Steve with a report.
28 yards on the punt. Edinboro takes over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
All right, Doug, thank you. That report brought to you by Bill Thompson State Farm Insurance in Indiana, 463-5333. The quarterback is Chris Hart. He's from Hampton, Allison Park. He has a lone setback, and that's Gerald Thompson. He gets the call around the right side. He finds Ruff going, picks up maybe a couple of yards. But Thompson, who leads the PSAC in rushing with 941 yards, met by the IUP defense, led by Omar Stewart and John Stewart from the cornerback spot. So IUP has some stars on defense, too, led by Omar.
Yes, Omar was there, and Turnage got there, too. What great quickness and technique. We talk about it all the time, but Jeff Turnage going down the line of scrimmage from his nose tackle spot, getting in on that tackle, and, of course, he had a big game against the Borough last year. I believe it was 11 tackles off the top of my head, Jack.
Second down, split formation. And Grantlin goes to the right side. They'll give it to Brinson. Tony Brinson. Brinson, there's a flag. 35-40 goes to about the 44-yard line. We may get a hold in here. Boy, a lot of extracurricular. These two teams are really fired up. Coming over, Harold Brister to make the stop on Tony Brinson, a 6', 188-pound junior out of Pittsburgh Landley.
Well, I believe the call is on Jeremy O'Day, and I believe he held, yes, he held Omar Stewart, and Stewart caught up and kind of did a "you naughty little boy" routine in his face.
The officials, Don Woodward is the referee, and the same officials that we had for the New Haven game, I'm told, up at IUP. Here's the mark-off, Jeremy O'Day, and All-American up front, and this is a massive offensive line. Det Betty is the center, 278. O'Day at a guard spot, 280 out of Lockport, New York. He is an All-American, along with Chad Wallach. Tom Lavis out of Laurel Valley, 6'7", 282, played for Jerry Page. And Chris Barney, the other tackle. The tight end is Todd Henney. Gilbert Grantland, their leading receiver, the speed burners to the left side. They've got a wide out to the right and the slot man on the right side. Back at the 22-yard line. Long yardage to go here. They've got to go to the 42. The pitch goes to Thompson. Tries to sweep the right side. Marshall's around there, but he gets by Marshall, and he is block tackled around the 31-yard line out of bounds. Thompson from Woodland Hills. Reggie Carter, the free safety, came over.
We saw them running that play in the warm-ups, Jack. No tight end in the lineup, and just the single back set, and then they run the ball to the wide side of the field. They make you think they're in a passing formation, and of course they have such great faith in Thompson, and he has such tremendous ability. They try to run it wide around Mike Marshall. Marshall just about a half step from making a big play and stopping it for no gain.
9-yard pickup, 3rd down, 11 to go. Wide to the left side. We've got trips this time. Brinson is in there, and a slot man, and Grantland is wide to the left. IUP almost jumps offside. They do. There are the flags. Free play. Hart throws over the middle. It's deflected and then caught while on the ground at the 45-yard line of IUP is Quentin Werebay. Werebay on the deflection was on the ground, made the catch, and of course the flag upfield is against IUP. It'll be declined.
Yeah, the ball tipped by Brian Harper, dropped into a zone in pass defense, and very upset with himself. If it had just let the football go, Jack, I think it would have been short and fallen incomplete. But as it was, he tipped it and knocked it just high enough in the air that Werebay could get there.
24-yard pass play from Chris Hart. He was the backup to Jody Dickerson, who started every game up here at quarterback for 4 years. Hart 80 for 161, 1,146 yards, 10 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, and just under 50% his completion percentage. They've got an I formation. It goes to the deep back. It's Thompson. Doesn't get much. Off the right side, maybe a yard. On top is Shannon Manning, the super sophomore. And underneath for IUP is Mike Marshall.
Marshall with a good job of penetration and holding the line of scrimmage, and Manning able to come over the top and make the pop.
Hart taking a place from the sideline. Tom Holman has been a very successful coach here at Edinboro. He gave you his record. He's only lost 5 games here at the Borough in his tenure. Sox Harrison Stadium. Clouding up a little bit. Grantland comes out wide to the left. Roberts is inside him. They've got trips to the left side and Tony Brinson. Fake to the lone setback. Out here the pass to Grantland. Got it at the 39. Crossfield, and he is hit and cut down at the 35. Jeff Turnage came over and knocked him down. But Edinboro's got, they spotted, see where they spot. It should be a first down. It is a first down.
Well-conceived play, Jack. The other 3 receivers ran everybody off, ran them deep, and Grantland came underneath and caught the football. A number of the linebackers were there, but once again, Jeff Turnage with incredible pursuit came from seemingly out of nowhere, backed off of his rush of the passer, and came and got Grantland from behind.
They bring in an H-back, and that's Sabo, and now they reposition the tight end. Double tights, twins to the right side, and a lone setback. Fake to Thompson. Hart is back, throws the pass, and it is caught in going down on one knee after the catch was number 80, and that is Quentin Werebay, who made that catch just a little while ago. He's from Cleveland, Ohio, a sophomore, 15 receptions coming into the game. The gain will be to the IUP 31, a gain of just about 3, 2nd and 7.
Well, Edinboro's passing game clearly is underneath here, Jack. They had Grantland going deep down the sideline, and Werebay cutting underneath. He was wide open. There wasn't an IUP guy within 10 yards.
Werebay goes to the right side. Grantland comes out here to the left. Hart operates with 2 setbacks. Brinson and Thompson are in there. 2nd down and 7. IUP showing blitz, faking a delay, and it goes to Brinson. He is tackled by Turnage as he slants his way to the 27 and the 26-yard line. Jeff Turnage, the All-American nose tackle, making the stop. Edinboro started this drive at the 32 after John McGee's punt, and they come up now with a 3rd down and 2 to go at the IUP 26.
Good strength on the part of Brinson there. He was hit back around the 29, 30-yard line. He carried Jeff Turnage for about 3 yards on that play.
Tony Brinson and Gerald Thompson. Brinson comes out. Also coming out of the lineup is Werbe. Granlund, who's from Mesa Junior College, is wide to the left side. Now he goes in motion, far side of the field. 3rd down and 2 at the IUP 26. The pitch back goes to Thompson. Slants, picks up a first down. Down around the ankles. Making the tackle was Joe Dorsal for IUP. Let me see. Maybe I called it too soon. The sticks are on our side of the field, and the play is on the far sideline over there. The
Edinboro says they have it.
I thought they did. They do have it at the 24 of IUP. A new set of downs for the Borough. And they are driving the football in IUP with little dink passes here and there. They have moved it, as we said, from their own 32-yard line. Chris Hart, very methodical, is 3 for 3 in passing.
Tight end Terry Roberts into the ball game, clearly with a play from the sidelines. Actually, he's a wide receiver, I'm sorry.
First quarter, no score. 8:22, Edinboro dominating the football. Slot man to the left side is Brinson. Granlund is wide out here to the left. With a lone setback, we've got a flanker on the right side. It's Thompson up the middle. Thompson inside the 20. He is wrapped up around the 17-yard line. In his face was 13. Omar Stewart, the All-American linebacker, who's almost up to 100% now. He had been playing with that deep 5 roost for several weeks. They'll mark it at the 17-yard line. And the gain is 6, 2nd and 4.
Edinboro very methodical here this afternoon, Jack. It's not that IUP is necessarily getting pushed around. The Edinboro's front line just doing enough to keep IUP's defense off their quarterback and the running back so that they can have the time to make their play, make their cut, or make their throw.
Hart with a lone setback and 2 receivers to the right on delay. It goes to Thompson. Stiff arms Marshall, and Marshall wraps him up and brings him down. Right away, Marshall will not let up. The big 6'6" outstanding defensive end from Bedford wouldn't let Thompson get loose.
And a huge play by Mike Marshall, because IUP came with the all-out blitz. If Mike Marshall doesn't make that play, Thompson, I think, is gone for a touchdown, Jack, because IUP totally committed its secondary to the blitz on that one.
So here we go with 3rd down now. 21 yards so far for Thompson. He has carried 6 times. He leads the PSAC in rushing. Ball positioned at the IUP 16. 3rd down now, still 3 to go. 2 receivers wide to the left, flanker to the right, and the official blows the whistle, and we have an official's timeout. 6:54 in the first quarter here.
The Music Box, your listen before you buy music store in downtown Indiana. The only store where you can preview any CD before you buy. All new releases on sale every day. Hundreds of major and independent labels available. Next day special orders at no additional charge. The area's largest collection of box sets, a huge selection of quality used CDs and cassettes, plus imports, t-shirts, and posters. Come in and experience the Music Box difference.
Their kicker, Ken McCrory, has kicked only 5 field goals. He's only attempted 8 this year, his longest 35 yards. Edinboro has possessed the ball for 6 minutes, 36 seconds. They have a 3rd down and 3 at the IUP 16.
And, of course, you and Coach Signetti talked about an edge IUP might have in special teams. Gilbert Granlund averaging 22.6 yards per kickoff return, 6.5 per punt return, and Dan Wansley per punt averaging just 32 yards.
Terry Roberts to the right, Granlund to the left. Now Roberts in motion comes to our side of the field. Split backs, the fake to Thompson. Hart is back to pass, looking, and it's deflected, incomplete. Blocked up there. Who got it?
Turnage. Jeff Turnage was in there and had his hands in the air. It's the basics. I mean, he had time to throw the ball, but certainly Turnage was doing what Coach Signetti had talked about, practicing those basic techniques. And one of the basics anybody who's ever played any football or observed is getting your hands in the air when you're rushing the passer. And, Turnage was not near the quarterback, but he had his hands in the air, and just line of flight of the ball, he happened to have his paw where the ball was thrown.
Here we go with the 33-yard field goal attempt by McCrory. Snap, the ball is down, and the kick from right to left. It is up there. It is no good. It's off to the right. No good. Edinboro does not score. We've got a timeout.
Good pressure by Harold Brister.
And it's no score, and we'll be back with IUP football after this message.
The Music Box, your listen before you buy music store in downtown Indiana. The only store where you can preview any CD before you buy. All new releases on sale every day. Hundreds of major and independent labels available. Next day special orders at no additional charge. The area's largest collection of box sets, a huge selection of quality used CDs and cassettes, plus imports, t-shirts, and posters. Come in and experience the Music Box difference.
After the missed field goal by McCrory, it's IUP ball at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 in the backfield. Robinson and Mosley. First play. Back to pass. Pass is caught from Ferguson to Mosley. Falls down at the 25. Pick up a 5 on the play. Michael Sims, outstanding linebacker, came over to pin him, but a 5-yard pickup, and Ferguson going right to the air on first down.
Didn't mean to jump on you, Jack, there at the field goal, but Harold Brister was so excited, I guess maybe got me a little bit excited. He was the guy in there putting pressure on the kicker. Now, he didn't get any part of the ball, but I think he made him hurry just a tad, and the wind also was of effect because the ball was certainly long enough and high enough.
We're going to say the line of scrimmage actually was the 19, so a pickup of 6 yards on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4 from the eye. Harris is at fullback. Robinson leaps over a man. Now he keeps going, and he churns forward to near the 30-yard line for what appears to be a first down. It is for Dennis Robinson, the All-American running back out of McKeesport, 3rd leading rusher in the PSAC.
And that's what separates the average running back from the good to greats. Right there, he should have been stopped dead to rights back around the 25, 26-yard line, but he did a little hippity hop. He jumped over 2 or 3 guys who were down on the ground and managed to make a nice gain out of something that should have been no gain or perhaps even a loss.
Looking at the Edinboro defense, they have Lambert, the defensive end. He's on the left side, and Schuster, the All-American, is on the right side. 5 men up front. 2 receivers to the left side. New set of downs. IUP near their 30 from the eye. Ferguson to Robinson trying to sweep. He's in trouble. He eludes one man, but then he is taken down on the far side of the field and brought down for a loss back around the 26-yard line. And over to make the hit on him was Marty Williams. So it's a loss back to the 26, a loss of 4, and Robinson just could never turn the corner.
Well, and that was the case of the corner. Williams not letting him turn. Williams playing good technique out there, not only turning the play in. Some teams like to turn the play in back to the pursuit. Others like to force it to the sidelines. In any case, Williams made the play as the corner. He made the tackle after the defensive end stuffed the blocker.
2nd and long, no score, 5 minutes to go. Play action, back to pass. Ferguson over the middle, and it's caught by Tony Hardy. He's got a first down. He is ridden out of bounds near the IUP 45-yard line. A great play, but hold it. Flag back upfield, looks like holding.
Yeah. That's a shame because Tony Hardy has finally made a big play for this football team, and he made, of course, one last week with that touchdown reception against Cheney. He seems to be gathering his confidence, doing the sorts of things in the games that he's been doing in practice.
Let's go to Doug Steve on the IUP sideline now for this report. Doug? That report brought to you by Kangaroo's Outback Cafe, the official food, fun, and sports place for IUP fans. No score, 4:49 to go. 19-yard pass play from Ferguson to Hardy that will not count. And so the penalty takes it back to the 11.5, and IUP must get to the 40.
I think IUP will come out throwing here, Jack. I think they'll be very aggressive. Coach Signetti talks about the fact that when he was with Bobby Bowden at West Virginia, Bobby taught him never be afraid to be aggressive, never be afraid to throw the football. I look for that here.
Tight end on the right side, offset backfield, flanker to the right, split end to the left side. IUP's Hardison moved, and he got back. There is a flag. He's in motion. This isn't going to count either. There's an interception. That's going to count by Sims. 25, 20, 15, 10-5, hit it for the end zone, and he made it in for the score. A touchdown for Edinboro. IUP with a flag, but it was Michael Sims who picked it off and goes for the touchdown, and it's Edinboro 6 and IUP nothing here in the first quarter with 4:16 to go.
Well, we talked about not being afraid to throw the football, and of course it backfires there. The conservative thing would have been to, try to run it and play field position, but they're being aggressive, trying to win the football game. I'm not sure exactly where Ferguson was throwing that ball. It wasn't anywhere close, actually, to an IUP guy, as far as I could see. And Sims, of course, has wonderful instincts. Is a veteran, sitting back there and playing the field and able to make the return after the interception. He's a terrific athlete, obviously can run, and had no problem getting into the end zone.
So it's 6-0, and the Borough strikes first here. And McCrory is in to attempt the extra points, where he's 22 for 24. Hart, the quarterback, holds. Ball is down, and the kick is up, and the kick is good. Timeout on the field. Edinboro 7, IUP nothing. You're listening to IUP Football on 1160.
The Music Box, your listen before you buy music store in downtown Indiana. The only store where you can preview any CD before you buy. All new releases on sale every day. Hundreds of major and independent labels available. Next day, special orders at no additional charge. The area's largest collection of box sets, a huge selection of quality used CDs and cassettes, plus imports, t-shirts, and posters. Come in and experience the music box difference.
Edinboro did at Portland State. They really surprised Portland State. 9 turnovers they had on the left coast in that ball game, which they won 26-7, and that indeed was a very impressive win for the Borough.
Derek Clark kicking off to Robinson and Mosley. Takes one step, kicks it down, short kick, going to be taken at the 9, dropped by Robinson, picked up at the 6, comes back to the 10, the 15 to 20, wiggles his way through, and he's across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. So decent return after the ball was dropped over there, and making the tackle for Edinboro on the kickoff was Jerome Glover. He's out of Baltimore, Maryland. IUP leads the PSAC in turnover, giveaway, takeaway, plus 11, but that time, 5th interception for Ferguson.
IUP also leads in scoring, but then again you have Edinboro, which has the very tight defense. They're only allowing 14, 15 points a game.
Well, that's interesting. Mark Burdick points out to me, no time ran off the clock on the kickoff. Started at 4:16, it's still up there.
That's right.
Here, offset backfield. Suber's got the ball. We've got a flag. Suber starts running, drops the ball, throws it down dejectedly after he heard, and he is really mad at himself, and IUP committing some errant mistakes here as Walton was called for holding, then the interception. Now on this play, they're going to be called for illegal motion, I believe. And they'll get marked off again. They just have to settle down. That's all they have to do. They trail 7-0 to Edinboro.
Yeah, it's a motion call.
And that marks it back at the 17-yard line. James Suber in that backfield for IUP now, the freshman, with 467 yards and an average of 7.8 a carry. He is a lone setback. Hardison to the right. Smith is a slot to the right side. And the wingman on the left side for IUP. Ferguson goes to Suber. Suber lowers his head and follows some blocking, gets across the 20 to the 22. Flag afterwards. Edinboro tried to steal the ball over there with Jerry Roberts. But there's a flag, and I think we're going to have a lot of flags here this afternoon. Any indication in this first quarter.
17 across the 20, back by the original line of scrimmage.
James Suber is just out of his mind this afternoon, Jack. I think it's a face mask call against Ed. He was one of the guys that was really, really vocal when IUP ran out here and there was that confrontation. I think Suber is a little bit hung up on the pub that Gerald Thompson's been getting. And I don't know this. I haven't talked to him, haven't heard anything, but I sense that he figures, hey, I'm as good as Gerald Thompson ever thought of being, and I'm going to prove it today.
Well, it's his first real big ball game, that's for sure.
Well, he certainly has the talent to show Mr. Thompson. We'll see if he gets it done. After the penalty against Edinboro, new set of downs, IUP. They'll have first down. The ball will be at the 27-yard line of IUP. Edinboro leads 7-0, 3:56 on the clock. A little bit of sunshine breaking through here, and we've got the crosswind. We also have a delay as the officials are discussing. The chains haven't been moved yet. And now Edinboro's pointing on the Indiana side as though there is something that's going to go against IUP here, but the officials don't seem to indicate that at all. I don't know if no, Doug doesn't have any word on it right now for us. It's going to be first down and 5 IUP at the 27. All right, here we go. We're ready to work. The great thing of it is the officials are signaling to the other side of the field, so you have to really watch carefully to see what they're doing. Jim Smith getting a lot of playing time early. Niederberger is the wingman on the right side. Suber is the lone setback, and the handoff goes to Suber, sweeps the right side. He lowers his head and dives across the 30 to the 31-yard line, where Michael Sims comes over to make the tackle, and he was helped out on the play. And with Suber, you need help. Cushenberry, the defensive back out of Washington, Pennsylvania. They'll say that Suber got to the 31. It's pretty close to a first down here. Yeah, there's just shy. Yeah, a whole lot of talking going on down there. They're yapping at Suber, and he's yapping at them, and then he'll start a conversation, and someone will respond to him. Smith and Suber go out. Campolo comes in. Remember, Thomas Maxwell, the fullback, was shaken up. Had a real good stinger, and that happened on the opening
play the game. And Campolo is the lone setback. Interesting set here. Niederberger's to the right, 2 receivers to the left side. Ferguson's going to pass out of that set. Fakes once, throws it up for grabs. Henderson, and he stole it from the defender. And they're going to call it good.
Yes,
yeah,
it's IUP's ball. He took it
Henderson.
right away from the defensive back. Great play by, I think, IUP's best receiver. And I know, Jack, I've not been as close to the program in past years as you've been, and I know all about Jai Hill and Jamone Smith, but to me, Ton Henderson with the complete package of speed and hands and making plays in critical situations like that, he's as good as any we've had, in my view.
Henderson, 24 yards on the pass reception, and he literally stole it away
Yes,
from the
Great
free safety, Allen. 1st and 10 IUP. That was an interesting set with Campolo in the backfield. Short yardage, and they went to the pass. So IUP showing some new looks. They have 2 men to the right. Niederberger is the wingman on the left side faking. Here's the pass. It's caught by Niederberger. He is kissed in by Allen, but goes forward for about 2 yards of the play near the 42-yard line. Ron Allen, the safety man, coming up to make the hit on it.
Tremendous play by Ron Allen, because it was a wide open situation there where no one was on the tight end, and Niederberger was wide open, but Allen closed very quickly. If he misses that tackle, Niederberger's got some big yardage, but Allen was sure of himself, broke down very well in technique, and made the play.
Close to a 4-yard pickup at the 41, 2nd down and 6. IUP trailing 7-0 first quarter. Suber and Campolo in the backfield. Suber takes the ball, lunges forward to about the 38-yard line, submarined on the play, and it appeared, I believe that was, it was Rich Jones, 6'4", 300-pound senior from North Allegheny. Doug Steve has a report for us. Doug?
3rd down and 3. 3rd and 3 officially from the 38-yard line. Pennsylvania Conference Western Division score in the first quarter, Slippery Rock 7, Clarion nothing.
All right, thank you. That report brought to you by Bill Thompson, State Farm Insurance in Indiana, 463-5333. Give Bill a call. 3rd down now, 3 to go. IUP taking the snap, back to pass. Here's a little pass going to be caught for a 1st down the sideline. It's Mosley to 30, the 25, the 20, heading for the end zone, and he's going to go all the way for the touchdown. Vaughn Mosley takes it on the pass from Ken Ferguson, and we've got a 7-6 game on a 38-yard pass play.
Big block by Tony Hardy downfield. I was a little concerned. I believe that was Ron Allen that he screened over there. I was hoping that he wasn't going to get called for holding because there was a little hand fighting going on, but a terrific job by Hardy giving the big block, and that's what we've been, you and I have been talking about all week, Jack. You've been telling me the IUP coaches putting in these little swing passes out of the backfield this week. We saw it right there.
And getting the most out of Vaughn Mosley, who is an outstanding receiver. He has 5 touchdowns this year, 3 catches for touchdowns and 2 running, and coming in, John Rupp, who leads just about everybody in scoring, 32 for 34 on the year. It is up there, and the kick is good. We've got a tie game. IUP 7, Edinboro 7, 1:32 to go. And you're listening to IUP Football on 1160.
The Music Box, your listen before you buy music store in downtown Indiana. The only store where you can preview any CD before you buy. All new releases on sale every day. Hundreds of major and independent labels available. Next day special orders at no additional charge. The area's largest collection of box sets. A huge selection of quality used CDs and cassettes, plus imports, t-shirts, and posters. Come in and experience the Music Box difference.
On 1160 WCCS Homer City, IUP 5 plays 78 yards in 2 minutes 44 seconds. 38-yard pass play from Ferguson to Vaughn Mosley. And now John Ruff will be kicking from left to right. And look out for this guy, Gilbert Grantland, because he is an outstanding talent with speed, averaging 22.6 kickoff returns. Here we go. And Ruff gets it out of there. He kicks it high. A lot of hang time, end over end. Grantland takes it, settles in at the 8-yard line, comes to the near side, the 15 to 20, and then he is jammed outside the 25 and stutters his way at about the 32-yard line, where John Ruff escorts him out of bounds.
John Stewart got sucked in a little bit on that play, trying to be aggressive, trying to make a big play, Jack, and he came in and took on a couple of blockers and let the return man get to his outside shoulder, and you can't do that as the guy coming down the sideline. You've got to turn that play in and keep that return guy on the inside shoulder of your shoulder pads, and John Stewart a little over aggressive that time, let Grantland get out.
So Edinboro starts with 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line. 7-7 ball game, lone setback. That's Gerald Thompson, the outstanding freshman from Woodland Hills. Short drop, Hart throws the pass caught by Grantland, far side of the field, tried to shed one of the tacklers over there, but IUP would not let go.
Harold
Brister made the stop on him. Grantland, just to give you his stats, he's from Mesa Junior College out in Arizona, from Belglade, Florida, actually. 28 receptions, 20 yards a catch, and 7 touchdowns. And that's good to the 35-yard line to pick up a 3 2nd and 7.
Grantland is one of those guys like James Suber. You look at him in an Edinboro uniform, or in Suber's case in an IUP uniform, you say he does not belong here. He belongs in Division I. But with the scrunch down and the limited scholarships now at Division I, players like that filter down to your program.
Trips to the left, fake to Thompson, back to pass. A lot of time. Now pressure and a sack, but he flips the ball, and the ball is up for grabs. Is it a reception and a fumble? No.
Flag.
We got a flag back at the quarterback spot. Turnage put the pressure on. Rusty Arrington's indicating a hold against Edinboro, but of course Rusty's not one of the officials.
But the official just indicated a hold, and I think that, yeah, got him up around the neck. That's what the official is. He gave the holding signal, and then he put his hand, and apparently it was Jeff Turnage. I see, Turnage is talking over the penalty. But one of the the Edinboro linemen, rather, got somebody from IUP around the neck there, clearly from the signals on the field.
And Deuce Gerald Thompson is shaken up, and he is walking off the field holding his right hip. He's was bent over a couple of times, so he is replaced in that backfield by William Harrison, B.J. Harrison, a freshman from Euclid, Ohio. The holding call takes it all the way back to the 18-yard line. And Edinboro must go to the Edinboro 42. We have 37 seconds left first quarter, 7-7 ball game.
Second down.
Grantland comes out here to the left side. Hart deploys. Warbay to the right side, lone setback, and that's the fellow Harrison, just came into the game. Fake to him, back to pass. Hart wants to throw sideline and does. Warbay has the ball, and then he is wrapped up at the 27-yard line, far side of the field. Head high tackle over there. Brian Harper in the area, and Brian Harper played at Edinboro, a transfer, and Quentin Warbay making the reception on the far side of the field at the just shy of the 28-yard line, and they've got to go to the 42. We're coming up with a third down play. And a timeout called by Edinboro with just 11 seconds to go in the first quarter.
Third and 14, timeout Edinboro.
Indiana Mall, where there is always something new for you, including 60 stores under one roof for all your shopping needs. Thank you for celebrating Indiana Mall's 16th anniversary.
Football. Well, the great matchup, you can see the quality. Wouldn't it be nice to play teams of this quality each and every week?
You know, you get concerned, of course, Edinboro rather takes the interception, takes the early lead, but you sit here today, that's okay. I mean, that's fine. This ball game is a long way to go because you're exactly right, Jack. You're seeing some good competition, and it's too bad that there is not some sort of master plan around the Pennsylvania Conference to help the other schools raise more money so that their programs could be better.
All right, Hart rejoins his teammates in the huddle. Hart has done a terrific job within the system. They just feel they have the right chemistry. Henney, tight end, comes out of there and wide to the left side. Warbay, along with Grantland, he's the slot left, and 2 to the right. So we've got splits to the left, splits to the right, and a lone setback in there. And the fake to the tailback. Back to pass. The pass is to Brinson. He's got it to 32, the 40. He's got a first down. He's across the 45 and punched out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Tony Brinson was the lone setback. So they had everybody split left and right. Brinson out of the backfield, had 11 receptions coming into the game, picks up a first down.
Boy, Jack, you just shouldn't let that happen. The kind of a defense IUP has, I mean, when they're set back with that penalty, and then when they got 10 yards to go for a first down, they just got no pressure on the quarterback. IUP really has not gotten the kind of pressure on the quarterback you need to get today.
20 yards and a first down. First quarter over, IUP 7, Edinboro 7. You're listening to IUP Football in 1160.
The Music Box, your listen before you buy music store in downtown Indiana. The only store where you can preview any CD before you buy. All new releases on sale every day. Hundreds of major and independent labels available. Next day special orders at no additional charge. The area's largest collection of box sets. A huge selection of quality used CDs and cassettes, plus imports, t-shirts, and posters. Come in and experience the Music Box difference.
Second period, new set of downs, Edinboro, their own 47-yard line. Man in motion, Warbay coming to this side of the field. The pitch goes to Brinson, trying to sweep the right side. Brinson gets into IUP territory before he's pinned by Job Dorsal at the 47-yard line. So Brinson is doing the running right now. Thompson, the leading rusher of the PSAC, shaken up earlier. I'm looking for him along the sideline. He just hasn't been in there for a while. Brinson's a quality back, too, and the gain is 5, 2nd and 5.
Out of Langley High School in Pittsburgh, Brinson is.
Slippery Rock and Clarion are tied at 7.
We've got a score here on the Kangaroos out-of-town scoreboard. Slippery Rock, Clarion, 7-7. Remember, Clarion is also undefeated in conference play. Two receivers to the right side. IUP is showing blitz. Hart looks over the defense. IUP backs off a little. They give to Brinson. He's into the secondary, 40 down to the 35-yard line and picks up a first down. So all the hype was about Thompson. Brinson doing the job right now as Job Dorsal makes the tackle, 22 yards for Tony Brinson on 3 carries. It's at the IUP 36-yard line, 1st and 10.
Well, Edinboro, of course, returns all of their offensive linemen from last year's outstanding team. And at that time, Brinson with just some good, hard running here this afternoon and just tearing through tackles. That's all that was, sheer power football.
36-yard line of IUP. Edinboro driving left to right. Brinson remains as the lone setback. Orbay is to the right side. Grantland is to the left. Short drop looking for Grantland. The pass is caught by Grantland. He's wrapped up by Brister. 32-yard line, gain of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6.
Ruben Monroe, number 9.
Ruben Monroe over there, too. IUP has Brister and Monroe in that secondary, along with John Stewart, the senior. Reggie Carter, the free safety. Up front, it's Marshall, Turnage, Arrington, and Manning. They will mark it at the 31.5. It'll be 2nd down, about 5.5 for the first down. Edinboro with the football. Warbay to the right, Grantland to slot inside him. Lone setback, double tights. Big offensive line and strong. Fake to Brinson. Back is Hart. Throws the pass. It's intercepted by Omar. Stewart's got it. 26, 30, 33-yard line. Omar Stewart picks it off. And that's 13 INTs this year as opposed to 10 touchdowns. Stewart, the big play.
Exactly what I was going to say, Jack. We talked about Kenny Ferguson's early interception, which has resulted in Edinboro's touchdown here. And we've talked about the fact that Hart works well within their system. But going into this game, Ferguson, 10 touchdown passes, 4 interceptions. Hart, 10 touchdown passes, but 12 interceptions.
We will get a report from Doug right after this play. IUP has the ball at their own 32-yard line. 7-7 game. And IUP now trying to capitalize as Hendrick comes out over the football. The All-American Chris Vallario's on the right side, and Nagy is in at the guard spot, but Ferguson doesn't like what he sees, so he wants to call timeout and check it out. 7-7 game, 12:57 to go in the first half. You're listening to IUP Football on 1160.
Indiana Mall, where there is always something new for you, including 60 stores under one roof for all your shopping needs. Thank you for celebrating Indiana Mall's 16th anniversary.
This ball
is going to Ton Henderson.
Just so we can execute.
You watch. This ball is going to Ton Henderson, and he's coming to our side of the field, Jack. And I'm telling you, if they're going deep, he's the man.
Campolo's the fullback, Suber the tailback. Henderson to the left, Hardison is to the right. From the 32, here's Ferguson, play faking, back to pass, looking, it's long, it's to Hardison, it's out there, and it's knocked away at the very last moment. Mario was ready to take it, number 24, but 24, Keith Cushenberry knocked it away at the last moment. An outstanding defensive play, great one-on-one work.
Absolutely. Well, wrong again I was, Jack. That ball goes to Hardison and not to Ton Henderson. Hardison was open, and it was thrown a long, long way, but you're right. Cushenberry is one of their best defenders, and he was there and made that play. A nice recovery, and the reason he was able to recover, of course, is the ball was in the air so long.
Good to see Mario Hardison back in action here after being out for a couple of weeks with that concussion. 2nd and 10 at the IUP 32. Ferguson deploys to the left side. Henderson, Hardison to the right. Suber is the tailback. And the fullback is Mike Campolo. It's fake to it's given to Campolo. No fake to the fullback. We've seen so many fakes to the fullback this year. Mike brings it out to near the 35-yard line. On the bottom of the pile as they unravel, Jerry Roberts, the linebacker from Erie Tech, 6'2", 235 junior, making the stop on Mike Campolo, who now goes out. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Suber goes out. Niederberger, and a lot of changes in the offensive set.
Yeah, Edinboro was trying to convince the officials the ball belonged back at the 35, but Campolo burrowed underneath. I thought he had some forward progress across the 35. It is actually marked at the 37-yard line, Jack.
All right, Suber taken out of the game. Offset backfield. Dennis Robinson's in there, along with Vaughn Mosley, who goes in motion to the far side of the field. Back to pass. Ferguson setting, getting rushed, throws sidearm out here, and it is picked off. Cushenberry, yes, he picks it off right in front of the Edinboro bench. The receiver, Mario Hardison, fell down. Keith Cushenberry came across, picked it off. The second interception by Ferguson, and he threw that cross-field sidearm.
Yeah, he did, and he had some smoke on it, and I don't know where Cushenberry came from. I was as surprised as Ferguson to see that ball intercepted. Cushenberry got there, and I don't think he even realized he was just going to knock the ball away, and all of a sudden it just kind of hooked in the kind of cradled it in his arm. He was as surprised as the next guy that he picked it off.
So we go back and forth with a turnover. 7-7 game, 12:04 to go in the second period. IUP and Edinboro, another classic battle. Split backs, it goes through Thompson, and he's back into the game, but he is dropped at the line of scrimmage, and now a flag goes. The tackle for IUP, and good tackle down around the ankles, Omar Stewart. Let's see what this penalty might be. Doug Steve with a report.
Another holding call against the Scots.
I guess that sums it up pretty succinctly there. And it's going to be against Edinboro. That flag, that penalty, will take them back in their own territory for holding.
And, Jack, a tremendous job by Omar Stewart of running to the hole and sifting through the offensive line to make the stop initially. Even if there had been no penalty on this play, it was a tremendous effort on Stewart's part to hold Thompson to no gain. You and I have been looking for him along the sidelines. I don't know where he went after he was hurt, but he's back in the ball game.
1st and 20 now after the penalty. A lone setback. That's Thompson, man in motion, coming to our side of the field in Roberts. Fake on the reverse to Brinson. Back, and Gramlin has beaten everybody in the secondary. He makes the catch at the 20, and he just tiptoes into the end zone for the touchdown. A great play set up. 56 yards, Gramlin, and IUP secondary beaten by 10 yards, and Edinboro takes the lead 13-7 at the 11:40 mark in the second period.
Well, Harold Brister suckered there a little bit, I think, Jack, on that play. Without benefit of replay, it's difficult to say exactly whether or not, just how much he did react to the play action. But, boy, he was beaten badly, and you don't see Harold Brister beaten like that very often. I know Grantland's fast, but he ain't that fast.
Well, I'll tell you what, anybody could have caught that pass. First of all, you have to be fast enough to get out there, I know that, but the pass was laid right in there, and the secondary beaten badly. McCrory's extra point up there, not real pretty, but it is good. You're listening to IUP football on 1160.
The Music Box, your listen before you buy music store in downtown Indiana. The only store where you can preview any CD before you buy. All new releases on sale every day. Hundreds of major and independent labels available. Next day special orders at no additional charge. The area's largest collection of box sets. A huge selection of quality used CDs and cassettes, plus imports, t-shirts, and posters. Come in and experience the Music Box difference.
At Sox Harrison Stadium, another classic battle here, and right now Edinboro has the upper hand. It's been the turnovers. Stewart with an interception for IUP, but Cushenberry came back and picked one off, and Edinboro made the most of it.
And I think we're going to see Steve Russell. He's right there with Coach Signetti, who's on the headsets, and I think we're going to see Steve Russell on this series, Jack.
Interesting kickoff here by Derek Clark. He takes 2 steps, and he kicks it out of there. It's short. It'll go sideways. It'll be juggled by Campolo at the 23-25, finds his way across the 30 to the 35-yard line. Mike Campolo, decent return for IUP. It'll be maybe spotted at the 36. We're in the second period. 11:33 to go till halftime. Edinboro has taken the lead 14-7.
And here's Steve Russell.
They will mark it at the 35, and so the veteran from Penn Hills who played for Neil Gordon will be in there. He was the man last year who directed the attack, as we had mentioned. He is in so far this year with 3 rushing touchdowns, and he's thrown for 4 and 3 interceptions. He has 2 receivers to the left side. He has a slot to the left side. Fakes. Russell is back. He's being pressured, and he'll be sacked and goes down. Michael Sims got him. Sims got him all the way back at the 26-yard line. He had no chance.
Sims blitzing from the right side, from Russell's blind side, and at least Russell didn't cough the football up there. He knew the sack was coming. He just took it. He sucked the ball to his chest and went down.
9 yards on the sack by Sims. Sims, who has the sack today and also has an INT for a touchdown. So IUP now, 2nd and long, 19 to go. The ball resting at their 29. They have Henderson to the left as a slot man and Hardy to the left side. Back to pass. Little flat pass is caught out here by Robinson. 25-30. Robinson finds some running from the 35, the 40. Still on his feet, he goes to the 45-yard line. And it appears that he has a first down. The swing pass to Dennis Robinson, who moves it for 19 yards. And that's exactly what he needed if they spot it just right.
I think he might be a hair short there, Jack.
Let's see where they put him. 40, yeah, they put him a little bit beyond the 44, so it'll be 3rd and short, less than a yard to go.
Yeah, and he would have been 5 yards shorter if he hadn't run through the tackle of Keith Cushenberry. Cushenberry was there, had him dead to rights, but a tremendous second effort on the part of Robinson got him the additional 5.
Robinson, the tailback. Harris now is the fullback, and Russell keeps it for the first down, takes it across the 45. Steve Russell just pounding his way through for a first down for IUP. Well, there's no question that Edinboro will get a different look when they see Steve Russell in there. That's 3 first downs for IUP, 1 passing and 2 rushing here in the first half. They trail Edinboro 14-7 with 10 minutes to go till halftime. Out over the football, IUP has Chad Nagy now in at center, so they're switching there. Gravine is back in at a guard spot. Hardy to the right side, Henderson to the left, out of the I formation. Russell takes the snap, gives it to James Suber. Lowers his head, gets a couple of yards near the 49-yard line. James Suber, the freshman from Norristown in Glen Mills, is tackled on the play by the giant defensive lineman out of Canada, Jeff Traversy, 6'6", 280-pound junior. Go ahead,
the
say
P
it.
in Ontario. He should be on the blue line. Why is he playing football? Ken Ferguson, before he came out of the ballgame, 4 of 8 passing, 72 yards, 2 interceptions. Give that man a stick.
49-yard line of IUP. 2nd down, 7 to go. Henderson to the left. I formation. The fullback is Campolo this time. Edinboro showing blitz. Here they come. Fake to Suber. Look out. And Russell goes down. He's dropped for a big loss by Decker. Decked Russell. They'll mark him back at the 35-yard line. It's the blitz. Nobody touched Decker.
Yeah, they showed the blitz with the linebackers, and then they also fired the corner, Jack. They picked up the backers, but they didn't have enough people to pick up the corner.
Correction, 40-yard line, not the 35. 40 was bad enough. So another sack brings it up 3rd in another long situation, 8:35 and counting. IUP must go to the Edinboro 43. IUP is 1 for 3 in 3rd down conversions. Split backs this time, Robinson and Mosley in the backfield. Here is the give. It goes to Mosley. Mosley finds some running room. He dances across the 50, and he is shy of a first down by about a yard and a half. Moved it to the Edinboro 45-yard line. IUP set it up for what appeared to be a pass, but then stayed on the ground to Vaughn Mosley.
I think they might go for this, Jack. Yeah, they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they are going for it.
Here comes Suber. Going to have double tights.
Well, they bring in
Chris Harris, wasn't he the guy that was dinged on the opening kickoff?
No, that was Maxwell.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You're
Jones,
right.
a 300-pound, 330-pounder in on the defensive line. Here we go. Power to power. IUP at the 45-yard line of Edinboro. Going for the first down here. Robinson. No, it's Suber. Suber has the first down easily. Suber at the tailback spot near the 41-yard line. Cracking off the left side, getting some good blocking. And Edinboro making the tackle on the bottom of the pile. Decker, who just a little while ago, Brian Decker out of Portville, New York, who had the sack. He makes the tackle. First down, new set of downs, IUP.
IUP's forward wall really got off the football that time, Jack. There was no question about the execution on that play. It was more than enough for the first down, and that's what IUP has got to get a little more consistent at here in this football game, and that's that surge off the football. They really did a fine job on that play.
18 yards on 5 carries for Suber. Russell directing the attack right now. 14-7 Edinboro, 7:10 to go. It's Suber. Suber into the secondary, carrying people with him. Goes to the 30, the 29-yard line. the big guy, 6'1", 228, carrying tacklers with him, and goes for yardage to the 29. He has picked up a first down.
You just get the sense when we heard that Coach Cignetti was disgusted with Ferguson's interception, and you saw Steve Russell warming up on the sidelines, and then come on, you just get the sense that Coach Cignetti's going to go back to basics. He might not be the prettiest quarterback, but Steve Russell has that intangible. I think we're going to see him the rest of the afternoon, Jack.
5 first down, double tights, going back to basics, smash mouth football to Suber. Suber carries off the right side, got about 2 on the play. They closed quickly. Sims came over, and Marco Brown, who just checked into the game, 6'2", 320-pound sophomore from St. Louis, Missouri. And now Traversy will replace that fellow Brown. And, you know, Traversy's not a very small guy, 6'6", 280. Short gain on the play. And it'll be second down. IUP getting people into the ball game here, trailing 14-7, 6:26 to go till halftime.
Got your Dennis Robinson back in the ball game here, Chris Harris. The officials are, I wonder if they're having more trouble with the clock, because they're piddling around again down there, Jack.
That guy Brown comes back into the game, and Matt Gentili is 6'1", 260. A senior comes out, so they put more heft in to the lineup. Second down and 9 at the 29 of Edinboro. IUP driving for the equalizer. Hardy to the left. Smith is a slot on the left side. Harris is the fullback, and Robinson is the tailback. Back to pass. Here's the rush swing pass. That's going to be a lateral. Get the ball, Dennis. Rolls out of bounds. That was going to be a lateral.
You're absolutely right, Jack. He threw the ball, even though he threw it overhand, he did throw it backwards. And Robinson and Russell's over to tell Robinson now. He's telling him in no uncertain terms, hey, you got to go get that football. We got lucky there.
Don't give up on the ball. A loss back to the 35. It'll bring up third and 16. 6 minutes to go in the half. Edinboro keeps changing people on defense, trying to get their crowd in it. IUP trying to change it with offensively. Henderson to the left. Ross. 2 men to the left, flanker to the right side. A lone setback. Russell going to pass. He's back. He has some times. He throws it up. He throws it long. There's a collision. There's no contact. I guess the ball was overthrown.
Fourth down and 15.
Non-catchable football. Here comes Ruff.
For IUP from the Edinboro 35.
47. John Ruff, who had a 50-yarder that didn't count earlier this year, is in there, and this will be
No sure yet in the first 2.
Jack, if he makes this, I'll personally call every personnel director in the NFL and try to get him a tryout.
John Ruff from 52 yards to McGee, the kick. It's headed down. It is going. It looks good. It is good. It's a new IUP. 52 yards. Take off. Goose.
My phone bill just went up.
And what a kick by Ruff. And boy, did that pick up the sideline for IUP. That's all 14. IUP 10, 5:50 to go. You're listening to IUP football in 11:16.
Indiana Mall, where there is always something new for you, including 60 stores under one roof for all your shopping needs. Thank you for celebrating Indiana Mall's 16th anniversary.
Back here at Sox Harrison Stadium, a 52-yard field goal by Altoona's John Ruff, his 17th this season. New school record, 14-10. Scots are up. And, Jack, we just found out something very interesting, and we'll tell you about it after this play.
Yeah, and Granlund takes it 3 yards deep in the end zone. He comes out to the 20, 25, and he is down at the 27-yard line. Brian Walsh got him and others, and also mixing it up down there. Who are they restraining there for IUP? That's Gerald. No, that's Ruff, the kicker. He is fired up. Granlund took it 3 yards deep and returned it 27-yard line.
Very quickly on our Kangaroos Out of Town scoreboard, second quarter, Slippery Rock 21 and Clarion 7. And what we wanted to tell you is we have a scout for the Cleveland Browns here. I have one less call to make, Jack, because we have a Cleveland Browns scout here in the stands, I'm informed, and he saw Ruff's record-setting field goal there, his 17th of the season.
Well, they had a guy named Weber that kicked 52 yards against IUP some years ago, and the deep back, there are flags all over the place. Tripped up by Rusty Arrington was Gerald Thompson, and there was a flag immediately thrown.
Offsides IUP, the line jump, defensive line jump too early.
With the initial contact.
We're in the second quarter, 5:38 to go. 14-10, Edinboro leading IUP in another outstanding battle with two outstanding teams here in Division II. Edinboro, of course, has lost only to Appalachia State, 44-7, a power in 1AA. IUP with the two losses to an NAIA power, Central State, and Division II powerful New Haven. So you figure it out, but we figure that whoever loses this game is going to be tough to make the playoffs.
Terry Roberts out and Grantland back in at a spot, Jack, and I look them to go to that deep ball again. I mean, they've beaten the IUP secondary once, and you got to believe that they believe that they can do it again.
And here we go now with first down and 5 yards to go for Edinboro. Chris Hart is the quarterback out of Allison Park, Hampton. Slant off the left side. Thompson gets across the 35-yard line. Omar Stewart put a hit on him there. Omar all over the place today. He's very close to the first down. Had to get to the 36. He's about a half yard shy of a first down. Second down. This is probably a good yard to go for the first down. This is a good spot where maybe you go for that play action with a speed burner like Grantland.
Yes,
you know, go for the down.
About. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right on. That time on that particular play, IUP gave you a blitz look with Reuben Monroe hugging up on the line of scrimmage, but not this time. Monroe is deep as one of the safeties.
Power formation goes to Brinson, sweeps and slips and falls right around the line of scrimmage. Boy, Omar Stewart shot in there, took a stab, broke down the blocking scheme, and then trying to turn the corner was Brinson, but he slipped and fell. He may have picked up the first down, though.
Marshall was right there, too, Jack. Made a nice play. I think he's short.
It's third down and about a half yard to go for the first down. Sending in Terry Roberts. Now they're going to bring in Todd Henney. He's the big tight end. No, make it Sabo. He's the 6'3", 230-pound tight end from Laurel Highlands out of Uniontown. And it's third down and less than a yard, shy of the 37-yard line. Conversions, 2 for 2, third down conversions for Edinboro in the first half of play. Man in motion coming to this side of the field. Offset backfield. It's Thompson. He was hit by Marshall, falls forward, and I believe has it. Marshall stuck him, but spinning and falling forward was Thompson. Appears to have the first down.
They might have to measure. This is really close. I think they're going to measure, Jack.
Okay, while we have a timeout for a measurement, let's take this 30-second timeout.
Indiana Mall, where there is always something new for you, including 60 stores under one roof for all your shopping needs. Thank you for celebrating Indiana Mall's 16th anniversary.
By the nose of the football. First down, Edinboro.
Well, it was a terrific play on the part of Mike Marshall. If it had been a little more terrific, he would have been short. But, you know, Marshall was right there, hit him. If he could have stood the ball carrier up and thrown him back, he probably would have been a little bit shy. But as it was still an outstanding play, and you have to live with it and stop in this series.
Grantland comes to the right side. Flanker to the left with two setbacks. That's Warbay on the far side. And Hart almost dropped the ball, hands it to Thompson, but he's wrapped up by Jeff Turnage after about a yard or so. Turnage was right there to put the hit on the leading rusher in the PSAC in Gerald Thompson. Interesting story from Woodland Hills.
Yes, a kid who went to Allegheny Community College and had really kind of given up on football, I guess, and then some of his guidance counselors from Woodland Hills found out what he was doing, and he was working at a restaurant in Pittsburgh as well. I guess he's a busboy or a waiter or something, and they went to the restaurant, and they said, hey, you know, you have so much ability. Let's try to get your life in order. Let's get back into football.
Second down and 8 to go. Hart's 8 of 10 for 130 yards. Play fake. Boots to the right side. Throws to the tight end. Henney has the ball. He is wrapped up by IUP's Reuben Monroe at the 42-yard line. Stays inbounds, and the clock keeps rolling at 2:25. He's going to need 5 yards, at least 5 yards for the first down. 42-yard line, has to get to the 47. It'll be third down and 5. Chris Hart, not a spectacular quarterback, but he reminds me of Shawira from New Haven.
Yeah, and actually, you know, he reminds me of Steve Russell a little bit, too. They're kind of the same kind of quarterback. Not spectacular, but efficient.
Granlund to the left side, and a flanker to the right. A lone setback on 3rd and 5 at the Edinboro 42. Hart takes the snap, drops back to pass. Blocked up there up front by Mike Marshall at 6'6". He rejected it. And a big play by the big guy.
Boy, that was the word of the day right there, Jack. That was just a that tells you exactly, if you're not here and listening on the radio, that was the perfect word. That was a rejection, like he was blocking a shot in basketball.
And it'll bring in the punter, Dan Wansley. Wansley, 6'1", 152, only a freshman. Mosley is back to receive at the 30, kicking 32 yards, and his average, his longest this year, is only 46. He kicks into a cross-wind here. Line of scrimmage is the Edinboro 42. It's 4th down and 5. Edinboro leads 14-10. 1:53 to go in the half. Wansley taking a lot of time, gets it in there. It's a short kick. Mosley's going to watch it bounce inside the 30 and to the 23-yard line of IUP.
Rolls inside the 25-yard line down near the 23.
So IUP takes over, 1:42 to go. In the first half, they are trailing 14-10 on the 35-yard punt by Wansley. And we remind you that IUP football in 1160 brought to you by Tito Beverages, Indiana County's master distributor for Bud, Bud Light, Busch, and Michelob. Medicine Shop, where you always get low prices and fast service because they care. And Cellular One in Indiana, clear across America. IUP has Ken Ferguson back in at quarterback. Ferguson, the starter, with Robinson and Mosley, the split backs. On the first play, it goes to Mosley. Gets a block from Robinson, 25. He's at the 30. He still backpedals his way, gets to the 33-yard line. Hard-fought yardage. Near a first down, maybe 9. We'll see. Maybe have to measure here. It's that close for Vaughn Mosley following Robinson. It is a first down for Vaughn Mosley. 10 yards on the play, about 10 and a half. IUP in hurry up, 1.5 to go. 2 carries for 26 yards for Vaughn Mosley. Hardison is to the right, Henderson to the left with Hardy. Henderson is the slot man, and the lone setback behind Ken Ferguson is Chris Harris. Back to pass. Ferguson has time, throws the pass, could have been, it's caught by Weaver. Weaver at the 50, the 45, the 40, down to the 38-yard line. Could have been interference. He got away from his man. Cushenberry finally came over to make the tackle, 28 yards on the play to Jeremy Weaver, our co-offensive player of the game last week.
Cushenberry is down across the way, Jack. Jeremy Weaver would not die. When you're 6'4" and 220 and can run like Jeremy Weaver can, you might hurt somebody, and I think he really gave Cushenberry all he wanted on that particular play. I think that they got tangled up, their legs got tangled up as Weaver went down, and they appear to be working on his leg across the way.
Maybe a cramp. We'll wait and see. Edinboro 14, IUP 10, and you're listening to IUP football in 1160.
37-yard line.
All right, Cushenberry comes off. He'll be back. Looks like a cramp. 38-yard line of Edinboro. 1:05 and counting. Edinboro leads IUP 14-10. Ken Ferguson, the quarterback, has Hardison to the left. Mosley is in there, man in motion. Henderson, or make it Hardy coming this way. Back to pass, looking for Hardison. Sideline pass. They say no, that he didn't have it. He went out of bounds with it at the 28-yard line. No good, incomplete. Now to the sideline, and Doug Steve.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 from the 37. 2nd and 10 from the 37. Minute left in the first half.
All right, Doug, thank you very much. Brought to you by Kangaroo's Outback Cafe, the food, fun, and sports place for IUP fans. 53 seconds to go in the half. IUP at the 37.5 of Edinboro with a single setback. Hardison to the left, Henderson and Hardy to the right. Ferguson, the quarterback, back, has the time. Pump fakes, throws a little pass. It's caught by Mosley. If he can get out of bounds. 35 to 30, 25, and he's down to the 23-yard line, and he stops the clock with 43 seconds to go.
You know, last year, or maybe even earlier in the season, Kenny Ferguson, I think, might have, off that pump fake, might have tried to force the ball downfield, but there, he didn't. He brought it down. He did the safe thing, and he did the smart thing there. You get it to Mosley, and you stop the clock, in addition to getting the first down.
23-yard line of Edinboro. IUP stopping the clock wisely. Mosley, the senior, making the good play. Ferguson in there calling the signals as he gets them out of the huddle. Hardison and Henderson are to the left. Tony Hardy to the right. Mosley remains in the backfield with 43 seconds to go in the half. IUP down by 4. Back to pass. Looking. Nobody. Now he throws in the end zone. There's a flag. However, it's caught for a touchdown by Weaver. But I think we're going to get holding over here against IUP. Don't get excited. It is holding against IUP. Ferguson stepped up. I thought the other thing that entered my mind was possibly throwing across the line of scrimmage. He was pretty close. Weaver was open in the end zone. That tight end situation that Doug Steve talked about. 4 penalties for 30 yards against IUP. And that'll mark it back.
It's hard to tell who the culprit was. The official was talking to Shimko. Now, I don't know if that means anything or not.
It's back at the 41 of Edinboro, and the clock is now at 37 seconds. IUP coming with Jeremy Weaver checking into the lineup. Dave Johnson, the offensive coordinator over there, sending him in. Weaver brings into play. Dave Johnson, another Penn Hills grad.
Absolutely. He played for Neil Gordon, too. Dave Johnson did.
Hardison goes out. Hardy is to the right side. Weaver lines up right side tight. 19-yard penalty there. Henderson to the left. Split backs behind Ferguson from the 41 of Edinboro. Kenny drops back to pass. He has time. Here comes Schuster. He lets it go, and it is incomplete. There's contact down at the other end. Schuster put a lot of pressure on Ferguson. Schuster with 10 sacks this year. Incomplete pass.
Michael Stims was down there, the linebacker, in pass coverage, and he tripped over Sims' feet, but they ruled apparently that the ball was thrown long and it was not a catchable football.
Well, John Ruff has kicked a 52-yarder in this game. Right now, you're looking at about
a 59-yarder.
A 59-yarder. Yep. We're getting up close to Tom Dempsey territory. But we still have 30 seconds to go. Second down for IUP. And they must reach the Edinboro 13 for a first down. They're at the 41. Flanker to the right side is Hardison. Henderson left. Again, Fergie back. Here he sets. And he throws over the middle in a crowd, and it's knocked away. Incomplete. Boy, that's one that could have been picked off. Ron Allen, the free safety, came across. Cushenberry was also over there. Just too many defenders.
Yeah, he tried to gun it into double coverage on that play, Jack. Clearly, IUP is going for the downs, going for the points here, or was certainly on that particular play. Now that raises an interesting question. You've got 23 minutes, or 23 seconds. I wish you had 23 minutes. Third down and 28 to go at the 42. Do you try 2 more times to stick it in the end zone, or do you try to move the ball a little closer, settle for a field goal attempt?
We'll find out after this play. Hardy goes to the right, Henderson to the left. Ferguson is 50%, 6 for 12. Split backs. Let's watch the Edinboro defense. They back up. Back to pass. A lot of receivers. Ferguson, nobody open. He eludes one man. He's running laterally, throws across, and it is caught by Hardy. Incomplete. Hardy had it and dropped it. He was kissed pretty good at the 31 by Cushenberry. It'll be fourth down.
Got to catch that football, Jack, in big games. You can't be hearing those footsteps. I'm not saying that he did, but it gives the appearance of that. You've got to catch that football, make a big play, give your team an opportunity with a field goal. Ruff is coming on, and Ferguson wants to stay. Now they're going to call timeout here because I think there's a little confusion as to what they're going to do. I think Ferguson wants to go for the downs. Ruff ran onto the field, and maybe Ferguson is pleading his case to get one more opportunity to go for the big one.
And, of course, the leaper is in there now. Darren Hennigan checks in. He's the one who, of course, is the great high jumper and can really get up there. So he's going to be in the middle of that trip set.
And Jeremy Weaver goes out of the game. And here's a little bit of, well, I guess it's not really a surprise when you look at the guys that are in. Vaughn Mosley's going out, too. If you want to go for the downs here, so Mosley would be a guy you would hit out of the backfield. So you got Hardy, Hennigan, and Hardison, yes indeed.
The H guys and the other H guy to the left on one side. The trips are to the right side. Here is Ferguson back on the play. He rolls to the right. He sets up and he's going to throw it 50 yards downfield in the end zone. Incomplete, too far.
Out of the end zone,
Out of the end zone.
He threw it over the back line of the end zone.
60 yards.
Jeez.
And we have 5 seconds left. Edinboro holds. It's 14-10 Edinboro.
IUP contributed to their demise on that particular series with the big holding call. It would have been a 17-14 lead perhaps at halftime here for IUP, but for the holding call, and again, we don't know who the call was on.
So Edinboro with 5 seconds left at their own 41, and don't think that he's going to just kneel down with the kind of weapons he has out there. Chris Hart, IUP, sending everybody back. They're in their prevent defense, and Hart does stay on the ground, though, and tackled right around the line of scrimmage was Thompson, and the first half is over. And we will now be ready to go as IUP will be kicking off to Edinboro, and the third quarter is underway. And here's the kick. It's going to go deep, 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 and out of the end zone by John Rupp, who we double-checked on that field goal. Some were saying it may have been a 53-yarder, but his field goal was 52 officially, and he kicks it out of the end zone. Edinboro at the 20.
And our Kangaroos out-of-town scoreboard, Jack. At the half, it's Slippery Rock 21, Clarion 14. In the second quarter, New Haven 7, Knoxville nothing. And in the first quarter, East Stroud and Millersville are scoreless.
Got an update on that Millersville when you were gone. It's 13-0 now, Millersville.
Okay.
In second period. That's a surprise that New Haven, Knoxville, not supposedly that good, but New Haven's having a time with it. All right, here we go. First and 10 for the Borough. They have the ball at their own 20-yard line as we start the second half. Chris Hart, the quarterback, gives it to Tony Brinson, and Brinson is wrapped up by the IUP defense. Rusty Arrington, Shannon Manning and company allow just about a yard on that particular play. It'll be second down and 9 yards to go.
Interestingly enough, Jack, it started really in the second quarter, but we noticed it especially on this first play here. The opposing teams, while they were extremely emotional in the warm-up and as the ball game got underway, they're now helping each other up, and guys, guys have stopped the yapping at one another, and this has been a pretty cleanly played football game.
Second down and 9 at the 21 for the Borough. Man in motion coming to our side of the field. Hart pitches to Tony Brinson. Brinson trying to sweep. 25, and he is cracked down around the 30-yard line, picks up a first down. Reuben Monroe at the top, and down underneath, Job Dorsal making the hit for IUP, but Tony Brinson has been their main man rushing here today. Thompson has been held down. Brinson's been their leading rusher, and he picks up a first down at the 30.
Much discussion between Mike Marshall and Reuben Monroe about that play because they ran Marshall's side, and they got outside of him, and I don't know if they were talking technique, if they were talking assignments or what it was, but it wasn't really like an angry or animated discussion, but it appeared to be in-depth about somebody either missed an assignment or they weren't quite all on the same page defensively there.
Veteran center, Det Betty, 6'3", 278 from Brockport, New York, out over the football, and it's given to Brinson, and he's cut down and dropped for a loss on the play by Shannon Manning, the sophomore from Penns Valley High School.
Well, they got it right that time. Tom Lavis, the big tackle, had pulled out and was trying to block, but he just couldn't do it quickly enough to make the hole open right now, Jack. That play got strung out real well. Harper was over there to help Marshall do it from his linebacking spot, and they just messed up the timing on that play.
Lavis, the big tackle who played for Jerry Page at Laurel Valley High School, is a senior. Now Hart will line him up at the just shy of the Edinboro 30-yard line. Second down and 11 to go. Flanker to the right side is Grantland. The fake to the left side. Setting up Hart. Looking, throwing. And it is going to be caught at the 45 by Roberts, at the 50, the 45. And he is in IUP territory. A first down far side of the field. They're marking somewhere in the vicinity of the IUP 40-yard line. Looks like the 41.
They picked on Harold Brister that time, and Brister went for the football, went for the INT, Jack. Didn't get the ball and just blew the tackle on that one. Another 15 yards, 10, 15 yards on the play for Edinboro. Brister going for the interception and missing the tackle.
35 yards on the pass play from Hart to Roberts to the IUP 41-yard line. Really getting cloudy now. Darkening up, 14-10 Edinboro with the lead, and the Borough with a new set of downs at the IUP 41. A lone setback, two receivers to the left side. The lone setback is B.J. Harrison. Flanker to the right in Grantland. Hart drops the ball, falls on it, loses about a yard. Just fell right on top of it. Turnovers in the first half. IUP with the two interceptions that they lost, and of course Edinboro with one.
The one thing this afternoon that IUP has not gotten that I'm sure they wanted to get more of, and that's pressure on the quarterback, Jack. Edinboro's veteran, very good offensive line has handled IUP's outstanding defensive ends, Mike Marshall, and of course Rusty Arrington. They have not been able to, and they're really just letting them rush up the field and sort of letting them take themselves out of the play.
Grantland to the left, man in motion. Harrison comes this way. Flanker to the right side. Roberts, Hart dropping back, setting and throwing the pass. Incomplete at the 33. Edinboro receiver claiming interference, but no go. Brister on the cover, intending for Terry Roberts.
Boy, they were really pleading that time. A tight end in the area downfield, Todd Henney, was really pleading with the officials for a call. But it was a bang-bang play, purely a judgment thing, and the officials have been letting that sort of thing go. On the other side, IUP's had a couple of situations where there's been physical incidental contact, and they have not gotten the calls, and Edinboro didn't get one there.
IUP goes to the nickel back as Darren McGahee checks into the game. At the 42 of IUP, Hart fakes to the tailback, drops back to pass. He's in trouble. He throws the pass incomplete, intended for Grantland. And coming back, and the pressure was Rusty Arrington right in the face of Hart.
Yeah, finally breaks through. Did a good job that time, coming, in my view, more straight up the field, Jack, than trying to loop to the outside. They've been, it seems to me, looping to the outside, and really the blockers have been letting the defensive ends take themselves out of the play and doing it. That time, Arrington came straight up the field, more to the point, and he got in there.
IUP says they think they can block a punt here this afternoon. And in there is Wansing. He stands at his 46. He has it. He gets it out of there. It's high and short, and it will take an IUP. Well, it'll just go laterally, and it'll be down at the 21-yard line. 14-10 in favor of Edinboro leading IUP. You're listening to IUP Football at 11:16.
Off the right side. Short gain on the play.
21-yard punt, IUP from their 21. Dennis Robinson gets the call off the right side, but he doesn't have much at all. Schuster coming over, the All-American defensive end, to make the stop, and big Rich Jones, 6'4", 300-pounder.
And we're getting some rain here, Jack. The umbrellas are going up. Now, we don't allow umbrellas at the Miller Stadium. I don't know why they allow them here. They allow them in virtually no stadium across the country, but they do here, and the people in front of us have them up. I hope they don't stand up now.
Somebody asked me, what would the weather be like? I said, we'll have sunshine, wind, a little bit of rain. The only thing we haven't had yet, we have clouds. We haven't had snow, but it's not over yet. I formation. IUP needing some big plays here. They give it to Robinson, the tailback. Robinson knocks off a couple of tackles, takes people with him, gets to near the 28. Allen coming over to make the hit on him, and Michael Sims, who's been all over the place today, for the hit. Robinson picks up nearly 7 on the play. They'll put him down near the 28. Third down and about 3 to go.
Ran right out of the arms of the blitzing linebacker, Emery Martin. Looked like a run blitz that time, Jack. Martin had him dead to rights about 2 or 3 yards in the backfield, but Robinson ran right through the tackle.
Both teams have had great success in the third quarter this year. Henderson to the right, Hardy to the left side. A lone setback. IUP needs 3 yards for the first down. Ferguson is back. Little flat pass over here, and it's out of the arms. Intended for Suber, but a terrible pass. Ferguson let him too much.
Goodness gracious.
He was wide open.
I mean, Grandma should have completed that pass. It's right there. You got the first down. You have to execute that play.
And it brings in John McGee, who had 1 punt for 28 yards. And McGee, number 1 in the PSAC, standing at his own 15-yard line to receive the kick. Robert Ling, the long snapper, will get it in there to John McGee. 14-10, Edinboro leads it. 10 men up there. He gets it out. Grantland is coming up to meet it and will field it at the 31, and Ling knocks him down, drops him for a couple of yards lost. Robert Ling, the long snapper, made the tackle.
Wow, that's as good a special teams play as you're going to see all year long, Jack. Terrific effort on the part of Ling. Reminded us a little bit of that play that Jeremy Weaver made last Saturday against Cheney on the opening kickoff when he was downfield after Cheney fumbled. And, of course, Weaver recovered in the end zone for a touchdown.
45-yard punt.
Loses 4 on the return.
Loss of several on the play. Edinboro 27-yard line. They have the lead 14-10 over IUP. They have the ball at their own 27. Chris Hart has gone all the way at quarterback. IUP has utilized Ferguson and Russell. Man in motion this side of the field. Here's the pass deflection by Mike Marshall. Incomplete. They tried the flanker screen out here to Grantland. Marshall knocked it away again.
Real good. You know, just the minute we say the IUP's not getting enough pressure on the quarterbacks, now both defensive ends make a play immediately following. Because we had Rusty Arrington with the sack on the previous series, and now a big play by Mike Marshall. And getting back to that incomplete swing pass to Suber, I think they're going to go to that again because Suber had the wide side of the field and was headed for big yardage if that ball was complete.
Terry Roberts tight on this side. Hart is 1 for 4 through the air in this half. Man in motion, Quentin Warbay. He comes to this side of the field. The pitch goes to Brinson. 25. He comes up to the 30, slithers through and got to about the 35-yard line. Tony Brinson shows he's a pretty good runner. Omar Stewart made the hit on him. Brinson came in as the unheralded running back, the junior from Pittsburgh Langley, with a couple of touchdowns and 392 yards. And we'll have the situation coming up here with 3rd down and about 2 to go for the first down.
Well, that time they ran it, Marshall, and, you know, there's a philosophy. When you have a real good player, sometimes the best thing to do is run at him. And they've run successfully to that side on a number of occasions this afternoon.
Brinson, 8 carries, 40 yards. He's the lone setback. It's 3rd down and a yard to go at the 35. The pitch goes to Brinson the other way. Gets a block, and Arrington wraps him up, but not until Brinson picks up the first down. He's near the 39-yard line, and Edinboro gets a new set of downs here. 9:23 in the clock. Ticking in the 3rd period. The score 14-10, Edinboro leading IUP. We did not expect a real high-scoring game here today.
Well, I tell you what, with this wind, Jack, you know, we haven't had the rain, and it's not as bad as it could be, but the cold is now beginning to take effect. I don't know about you, but we're sitting outside here, and we've got the long underwear on, and it's you know, you're really starting to feel this cold, and you wonder if it will affect receivers and running backs at all.
Warbay is in motion to the far side. Brinson is wrapped up, and Jeff Turney made another play. Great play down around the ankles, brings him down. One of the things, in fact, pointing it out this week, Coach Signetti said the one thing we have to do, we have to tackle well. And that was a great example right there by Turney's loss of a yard.
Yeah, really, there's only been one play that IUP's really looked bad on, and that was the bomb, that long touchdown pass to Grantland, and that was just a matter of a nice play action, a little sucker play there. But otherwise, IUP's defense has been okay today.
Warbay to the right. 2 setbacks now. Grantland goes to the left side. Harris is in the backfield. Hart almost lost the ball. Gives it to Harrison. He's across the 40, and he still goes to about the 45-yard line. Harrison appeared to be stopped. Kept on churning. Manning came over along with Jeff Turnich to make the tackle on him. But B.J. Harrison picks up some nice yardage. And we'll have 3rd down now and 4 to go.
Right play called against the right defense there. IUP expecting the pass. They give the delay, and they get the job done in terms of getting some nice yardage, but it's still 3rd down and 4 and an opportunity for IUP to stop the drive.
14-10 Edinboro leads. Under 8 minutes and counting. This time it'll be twin receivers to the left. Now Warbay comes in motion to the near side of the field. The pitch comes this way to Tony Brinson. IUP coming up to make the tackle, and the tackle is made shy of a first down, Brinson. And jutting in there from his linebacker defensive end spot was Rusty Arrington, finally pinned about 2 yards shy of the first down at the Edinboro 47.
Boy, Shannon Manning a little bit frustrated with that particular play because he was coming down the line and had the ball carrier in his sights and just got hit like a 2nd or 3rd time and knocked off the football just enough to keep him from making a big play there and stopping that at the line of scrimmage. But it doesn't matter because Edinboro's going to punt anyway, much to the chagrin of their players and their fans. Their players are very upset.
Juan Mosley's back to receive. Single safety at the 30-yard line. Wansing will be receiving the football at the 35. IUP has 10 men up there. Now they drop some people back and let him kick it. It's short. It's awful. It's coming over here. It goes out of bounds at the 44 of Edinboro. So we've got a kick of 8 total yards.
Well, we said in the pregame, and of course you talked with Coach Signetti during his segment of the pregame, that if IUP had a clear-cut edge in this game, it would appear to be special teams. Now, you must take advantage of it. IUP's ball left hash mark along the 44-yard line with 6:48 to go, trailing by 4.
Doug Steve has donned the poncho down there. I'm sure in the 4th quarter he'll go for the Cisco. Coming up to the 45. I formation IUP. Got to have some fun in this game. Edinboro leads 14-10. Ferguson wants to pass. First down. And he throws it up for grabs. Coming back one-on-one. Incomplete. Almost intercepted. That ball just hung up there. Intended for Mario Hardison. Incomplete. Going for the long pass all the way down to the Edinboro 30. So IUP going for the downs on first down.
Yeah, interesting call. Don't know if that was indeed the call or if Ferguson did that after reading the defense, not finding anyone open. And James Suber, for all of his physical talent, has got to do a better job of pass blocking. Ferguson was under great pressure when he let that ball go, and Suber just kind of waved at the guy that was coming in there, putting on the pressure. James Suber's got to step up and put his nose in somebody's chest on that play.
Harris, the fullback. The tailback is Suber. He's the eye back. He gets the ball. He's off the right side. He's tripped up, and he goes down after just about 4 yards on the play. Third down coming up. James Suber carrying to the 48-yard line of IUP.
Chris Harris in the ball game at fullback, and now he's going out along with Suber.
And Chris Sadler had been in there tight end. Jeremy Weaver comes in, who usually does in passing situations. 14-10 Edinboro, 6:16. The light rain starting to fall again. IUP is at their own 48. Third down and 6 to go. Wide to the right goes Henderson. Hardy and Hardison are to the left side. Just a lone setback. Ferguson takes the snap, drops back, gets the pass off sideline, tip, and almost a fantastic play by Marty Williams. Stepped in, knocked it away at the 41-yard line. A great defensive play by Marty Williams, the senior from Cleveland, Ohio.
Kangaroos out of town scoreboard. An update on the New Haven game. They've gone up on Knoxville 21-0 in the second quarter.
So it's a battle of the punters here. McGee has been winning it. Williams with an outstanding play. Ferguson having a terrible day, 6 for 17 and 2 INTs. McGee awaits the snap from Ling. It's a good one to 35. The rush is on, but he gets it up there, gets it out to Granlund. It's going to go, oh yes, into the end zone touchback. 14-10 Edinboro leads IUP. You're listening to IUP Football in 1160. Edinboro with to Harrison, and Harrison picks up about 5 yards on the play. Near side of the field, IUP knocks him out of bounds. Stop the clock. Brister makes the tackle. Let's go to Doug Steve on the sideline.
Ruben Monroe, number 9, on the stop. Turnage also there. It is 4 yards for Harrison. Second down and 6.
All right, thank you. That report brought to you by Kangaroo's Outback Cafe, the official fun, food, and sports place for IUP fans. So, what do, huh? Here we go with 2 receivers to the right side, 2nd and 6, Edinboro at their 24. Hart fakes, boots to the right side, sets it up, throws the pass out here. It is caught, backpedaling out of bounds by Quentin Werbay, and it's first down at the Edinboro 43.
Well, I'll tell you what I'd do if I was a coach, Jack. I'd tell the players to shut up and let us run the football team.
Well, you know what's happening right now. The
frustration.
The quarterback, Hart, making his stats aren't that great in this second half, but he made the play there where Fergie just couldn't make the play earlier. And Werbay picks up a first down to the 43, his own 43-yard line. New set of downs for the Borough. Split receiver to the right. Hart hands it off and hit pretty good. Harrison falls forward to near the 45. Shannon Manning, Omar Stewart made the initial hit for IUP in the tackle. Second down and 8 at the Edinboro 45.
I don't know how to say this, Jack, except that time's getting away. You know, there's just a little over 5 minutes to go. Edinboro's, possessing the football now. IUP has got to do something. While the offense is sputtering a bit, it looks like IUP's got to do something either on defense or on special teams to get it going again.
Got to make it happen. Hart is 11 of 17 in the game for 188, and he calls timeout as he goes under center. He doesn't like what's set up for him. Edinboro leads it by 4. We'll be back. You're listening to IUP Football in 1160. Edinboro on their own 45. Second down and 8. They lead 14-10 over IUP. 4:51 to go here in the third period. IUP has had the ball less than 3 minutes in this period. Fake. Here's the end around. And getting away. 40, 45. And then Marshall comes up. Grantland was carrying it on the end around. Rusty Arrington was faked out on the play, but IUP covered it pretty well, and the gain is very short, about a yard.
Arrington did have an opportunity to make a big play, about 7-8 yards deep in the end zone on that reverse, but you're talking about a kid who has just great physical ability in Grantland, so I don't think you can put that on Rusty too much. He did enough to disrupt the play that other people got there and kept it from becoming a big play.
Split backs for Edinboro, third down 7, just outside their 45. IUP almost jumped. The give from Hart to Harrison. Harrison will dive to the 49-yard line. In the pile, Turnage in there. He's always in the middle of things.
Turnage on the stop along with number 18, Bryant Harper.
And Bryant Harper, the former Edinboro Fighting Scots. So we are exchanging punts in this period, and Wansing comes in to punt, and back to receive Vaughn Mosley. Time is getting away here. I don't know if anybody has the advantage with the wind. It's a crosswind. It's kind of hard to say. IUP with 2:43 the time they've had in this period with the wind. There's a kick that kicks it out of there. He is going to take an IUP bounce, though, fortunately, and comes back in the vicinity of the 25-yard line for IUP. They got a bit of a break on that one because the punt was not a bad one, the 26 yards, but they picked up about 6 or 7 yards.
Yeah, there was a big roar from the crowd. They were anticipating bad things again after that 8-yard punt earlier in the quarter, Jack, but indeed, he got a nice one away there. IUP benefited the bounce, and IUP has certainly had their opportunities this afternoon. Someone has to make a play.
Ferguson remains at quarterback. Far sideline, far hash mark, and Ferguson out of the eye gives to James Huber. They tried to strip the ball, and Pat Schuster brings him down. The All-American defensive end from Bradford, Pennsylvania. So when he left Bradford and came to Edinboro, he said the weather's just fine. Right?
It might have been an improvement.
Yeah, no problem. A gain of 2, second and 8.
Well, you know, all of that tremendous emotion that we had at the beginning of this and through the entire first half, it's kind of like everybody's...
Yeah, it's going
I think
now.
in the fourth quarter, this is going to pick up again. You're going to get that second wind, if you will.
Smith to the right. Maxwell's in at fullback now. Suber is the tailback, and they will go to Suber as the flags fly, and Suber is wrapped up, and they stole the football. And Michael Sims is going to head on down to about the 5-yard line. I don't know how that happened, if he just ripped it out of his arms or not. Correction, it was not Sims. It's Jerry Roberts, the linebacker. There was a flag. Jerry Roberts stole the football. The ball is at the 5.5-yard line of IUP, and they've got it in position to score and take a big advantage in this football game.
Officials haven't signaled what the penalty might have been, Jack. Difficult to say. Maybe Doug has some info down there along the sidelines. But maybe IUP moved or a hold or something like that.
Roberts picks up the fumble.
They're going to move it at the IUP 6.
To the 6-yard line, first and goal from there.
First and goal. 2:42 to go in the third period. And now IUP digging itself a big hole here. And Edinboro has a great opportunity at the 6-yard line. Brinson is in the backfield. Thompson's been out of there. He's been shaken up in this game. And Harrison also. Hart juggles the ball, gives it to Brinson off the left side, and he cracks down to about the 1-yard line.
Poor execution on Edinboro's part in terms of the exchange from center and the fumbling around, but Edinboro's veteran offensive line opened a nice hole over the left side, and what's more, they sustained those blocks, Jack, despite the problems in the backfield of handling the football.
Gain of 4. They'll mark him down at the 2-yard line. Second and goal. Hart check with the bench, comes back into the hollow.
Well, I tell you right now, Edinboro's a better football team than New Haven. I was not all that impressed with New Haven, even though they beat IUP. I think they were really fortunate that although they did make the big play at the end. But Edinboro's a better football team than New Haven. Not as good as Central State, but better than New Haven.
Man in motion. Here is Hart. He pitches wide side of the field, tracking his way. Did not make a touchdown. At the 1-yard line, the ball carrier was Tony Brinson, tackled by Mike Marshall to be third and goal at the 1.
Good support for Marshall by Harold Brister, who came up strong in the corner that time. Mr. Brister was just as responsible as anyone keeping the Scots out of the end zone there.
In at fullback is Joseph Evans in that backfield, and it's third down and goal at the 1. Thompson has not seen any action in this period, and so the fans are standing, and so are we. Joseph in the backfield along with Brinson at the 1-yard line, third down, goal to go. Here is Chris Hart, the quarterback, giving to Brinson, dives to the right side, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Edinboro scores 20-10. They lead IUP. 1:19 remaining in the third quarter. This all set up when Terry Roberts recovered a fumble and moved it to the IUP 6-yard line.
Well, turnover's the story this afternoon, Jack. Of course, Edinboro's first touchdown coming on the interception return by Sims. Then the second interception for Edinboro. They take the ball and they drive it down the field and score. And then obviously this turnover. So all three scores for the Borough this afternoon coming either on a turnover or following a turnover.
And that's what makes up big games, that's for sure, to stay out of the situation where you're going to cause yourself to turn it over. IUP leading the conference with a +11. Here's the kick, a very poor one, but it still managed to get over by McCory. The extra point is good. Timeout on the field. Edinboro 21, IUP 10. You're listening to IUP Football on 1160. Back at Sox Harrison Stadium. It's gloomy here, weather-wise and otherwise right now on the scoreboard. IUP turned it over. Terry Roberts returned it, and now Brinson goes in with a dive for the touchdown. 21-10, the Borough leading IUP. Kicking off is Derek Clark. IUP needs a spark. This is a side-winding kick. Let it go out of bounds. Campolo does. He'll put it at the 30.
It says of Tony Brinson out of Langley, out of the Pittsburgh City League here, that he's the leading rusher among 95 returnees. That's, of course, they weren't sure what Gerald Thompson, I guess, was going to do academically. 221 yards, 2 touchdowns on 45 carries last year. So Brinson, 6 feet, 185 pounds, a junior out of Pittsburgh Langley, has done the job this afternoon. Well, Thompson is apparently hurt.
Mark Birdie, keeping our stats, points out 7 plays from scrimmage. Forget the punt and all that IUP had. And the ball is given from Ken Ferguson to the ball carrier, Vaughn Mosley. The line of scrimmage was the 35. He brings it out to the 41 for 6 yards, second down and 4.
Hey, you're absolutely right on, Jack. Just a few moments ago, I was so engrossed in the ball game, I hadn't watched the clock. I looked up, there's only 5 minutes left of the third quarter. You go, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
You don't realize that Edinboro's just controlling the tempo. They're a real good football team.
Yes, they are. And Sadler is tight end on the left, Henderson to the right, Hardison to the left. The pitch comes to Suber, and he is hit and gang tackled and goes down right around the line of scrimmage, the 41-yard line. Swarming tackling over there by the Edinboro defense. Ron Allen up from the secondary, and coming over was the guy who stole the ball a while ago, Jerry Roberts.
Interesting choice by Suber on that play. Sadler had his guy, was blocking him to the outside, taking him to the outside. Suber chose to cut off that block, which is understandable, and come back inside. But in doing so, he came back to the pursuit. And another situation, maybe tries to bounce it outside. If he gets outside, he has some daylight.
Third and almost 5 for IUP at the 41. Back to pass. Ferguson now throws. Diving, sliding catch should be good. Did they call it good? They call it
they're saying it no.
Mario Hardison making the sliding catch. Boy, look at the IUP bench. They are not happy at all. And I'll tell you, Frank Signetti, I never see him react that angrily, but he whipped off his hat, and he was really angry at that one. 1 second on the clock here in the third period, and it's 4th down for IUP and 5 to go.
Well, official made the call all the way from the other side of the field, Jack. But on the other hand, the official who made the call, while he was on the other side of the field, he did have the open view of it. When the pass was caught, the receiver had his back to Coach Signetti, and, you know, it was one of those judgment things.
Gilbert Granlund is back to receive. He returns at 6.5 yards a return. McGee is ready to punt. 1 second on the clock in the period. And the horn sounds as McGee gets it up there and booms it out of there. Granlund's going to settle in on the 17-yard line, comes up to the 20, and he is rocked around the 22-yard line by Eugene Miller. That's the end of the third quarter. Edinboro 21, IUP 10. You're listening to IUP Football in 1160. Jack Benedict, Goose Goslin. Doug Steve, Mark Burdick. In that period, we watched Edinboro have the ball 10 minutes and 12 seconds. IUP 4 minutes and 48 seconds. You notice the difference there. 24-yard line of Edinboro. We begin the fourth quarter. We'll get a report from Doug in a moment. IUP trailing it by 11 points. They've got to make some things happen on defense right now. Hart fakes, drops back to pass. He has some time, and he lets it go long, and it is intercepted by IUP. They picked it off. It's Harold Brister, his fourth of the year, back at the 40-yard line of IUP. Maybe that'll be just what they need.
Well, that was a great play, and that word is overused, I know, Jack, but that was a great play by Brister. And we said earlier when Grantland beat him for the long touchdown that Grantland's very talented, but that Brister had bitten on the play action. The Grantland wasn't that much faster than him to have him beat as badly as he did. And Brister showed it on that play. He was right with Grantland. He stepped in front of him, and just took the football away.
At the 40-yard line of IUP, IUP has a new quarterback. Steve Russell is in for IUP to run the offense. Suber is the lone setback. He takes the ball off the left side. And Suber, they are gang tackling Suber. They know what he can do. They've heard about him. Word gets around in a hurry. Michael Sims is over there. And also up front, one of the linemen to make the stop on him was Matt Gentili, 260-pound senior. The gain is 2, 2nd and 8.
Kangaroos out of town scoreboard, Jack, in the fourth quarter. It's Slippery Rock 28 and Clarion 17. Slippery Rock coming on a little bit. Gave Edinboro apparently all they wanted last week. And, of course, Edinboro probably looking ahead to IUP.
Yeah, a couple of players watched the film, and what they said is they were playing, Edinboro was, not to get hurt. They wanted to keep everybody healthy. Everybody healthy on both sides of the ball today for these teams. Russell has a slot man on the left side, Niederberger, fakes, bootlegs to the left side, looks and throws it over the middle, and it's short, incomplete, intended for Mario Hardison downfield around the 35-yard line. It'll bring up third down. Let's go to Doug Steve with a report. Doug?
Correction, that is Russell at quarterback. It'll bring up third down and 8 from the 41 for IUP.
Okay, Doug, thank you. That report brought to you by Bill Thompson, State Farm Insurance in Indiana. 463-5333. Call Bill Thompson. IUP needs a first down badly. It's 3rd and 8. They are at their own 41-yard line. Hardison goes in motion. Now reverse motion comes this way. IUP almost released early. Wallington, now a flag is thrown. Russell's going to run the ball, and they topple him over on the far side of the field.
What was this official waiting for? It's the same guy who made the call on the pass, whether or not it was complete or not, that had Coach Signetti so upset. He waited a good 3 or 4 seconds after the ball. What's he waiting on? And why is he making that call clear across the way?
Took a long time, that's for sure.
I mean, you make the call, you don't make the call.
That was 3rd down and 8 for IUP. And it was against IUP, declined, and McGee comes in, and Grantland's back to receive.
Well, you know, I hate to make it sound like you're whining about the officials, but that's just a lousy job of officiating. If that guy moved, you throw the flag right now. You don't wait 4 seconds.
IUP, in their last 5 series, 3 plays and punt, 4 of those times, and the other one, they fumbled the football. That's been a horrendous second half. They trail by 11. McGee kicks it out of there, and he has got a lot of hang time. Grantland backing. He'll take it back at the 20-yard line. Oh, there's the hit. He comes up 25, the 30, the 35. He's at the 40, the 45, the 50, and he's run out of bounds by the kicker, John McGee. At the 41-yard line, there's a flag.
I think Eugene Miller hit him out of bounds, Jack. I think that's what it is.
They're going to put it at the 41 of IUP. He returned it from the 15-yard line. That's about 44 yards on the return unofficially.
Maybe they're just marking the spot, but there is definitely a flag down.
Yes, there was.
Maybe we have a clip here.
Illegal block.
Yep. Block in the back.
Well, that's a big break for IUP, because that could have been down in IUP territory another 15 yards.
Now it's starting to pour. It's coming down sideways here with the wind, if you will.
Well, it's just one of those enjoyable football days at Edinboro. Not too enjoyable on the scoreboard. Edinboro having the better of it here today. They have played well. They have had ball possession, and they haven't turned it over.
Well, it's frustrating in that IUP's losing, but it's good from the standpoint. It's nice to finally have somebody to play, or somebody that can play with you.
So Edinboro will have the ball after the penalty on their own 48. With 13:38 to go, the Borough leading it 21-10 after that punt return. And a penalty, and it goes to Brinson. He is cut down and dropped for loss back at the 45. IUP's Brian Harper, the transfer from Edinboro and out of McKeesport, making the hit and the play, and a loss of 3. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
No yards passing this half. This is unofficial, of course. Mark Burdick has no yards passing in this half for IUP and just 18 yards worth of offense.
This is official.
He says it's official. Yeah. Okay, Mark.
We compared his stats with the ones we got here, and I'll tell you what, they were better. 2nd down and 13 to go at their own 45. In the rain now, twin receivers to the right side in Roberts. Roberts coming in motion. Werebay's on the far side of the field. A lone setback and the delayed handoff. Brinson, and he squirms out of the arms of Job Dorsal, but then is cut down after about a 2-yard pickup.
And it's raining even harder.
Brian Harper made the hit on him. Yep, coming down harder now.
And on our Kangaroos out of town scoreboard at the half, I guess this is boy, I've read some chicken scratch in my time. This is unbelievable.
You mean you haven't seen Larry's writing?
Grand Valley 14, Northern Michigan 10, New Haven 21, Knoxville nothing, Millersville over East Stroud 19-17. I believe those are all halftime scores.
16 carries, 50 yards for Brinson. 3rd down and 11. Hart fakes, drops back. Look out, here comes Harper. Throw over the middle, incomplete by Hart. So Harper put the pressure on quarterback Chris Hart. Incomplete, and IUP holds. If they can get it back, they can get a touchdown here. As lackluster as their stats are in the second half, they're right back in this game. They're only down by 11.
You have to give Edinboro some credit, too. They have an outstanding defense. You could see that just from reading about them and looking at the statistics coming in. Outstanding defensive ends and a terrific linebacker in Sims. So you got to give them credit.
Wansing takes a low snap and takes a while, but he gets it out of there. This has some hang time on it. It's at the 16, dropped, bobbled by Mosey, takes a hard hit, and he goes down at the 17. It's 21-10, Edinboro leading IUP. We'll be back in 30 seconds with IUP football.